Gilbert, I'm excited for our grand guest. He's boxing's rising star, and many are calling him a unicorn in the ring. The boxing world got to know this 6'5" junior welterweight contender during an entertaining brawl versus Erickson Lubin. Introducing Sebastian Fundora. Sebastian, how are you? How are you doing? And how's life changed since that KO over Lubin?
I feel like it's been the same. Life's been good. It's been good before that. We're just focused on what we're doing, our job. Focus on this next one, October 8th, and we're just staying busy.
And Sebastian, I'm gonna apologize to Fernando because I told him you're a junior welterweight, you're a junior middleweight. That's our bad there. Now that I think about it, but can you take me back to that junior middleweight matchup against Erickson Lubin and how for us it was fun to watch, but I don't know how fun it was for you. But it was a brawl. You and Lubin were trading back and forth, and you got the best of him. But what do you remember the most from that fight? And would you call that your toughest fight so far?
I see that fight as tough as the rest of the fights. The fight before that, I fought a guy 33-0. The fight before that, I think he was 31-4, something like that. This guy next up, I think he's 34-1. All these fights been tough. All these fights have been tough. I think I'm at the high competition now. I'm not a prospect no more. I'm fighting all these contenders as well. This is another ranked fighter that we're fighting. It was a good fight, just as it was as well for you, the fans. It was a good fight for me too. I got to show my heart in the ring as well as my toughness and my power. I feel like I displayed everything for you guys that day.
And Sebastian, do you feel like it was finally like you mentioned, you're not just a prospect, you're a contender, you're trying to go for a championship or a belt. Do you feel like the world finally got to know you? And what was like the biggest question you got after the fight? Was it how do you do it when you're so tall? How do you compete when you're like 6'5", towering over people? Is that a common question you get?
Not really. I felt like I was questioned before the fight, like how was he gonna do with the elite competition? But we showed how we respond to stuff like that. Um, and I felt like the fight just spoke for itself. I didn't really have to talk on how I fight because they've seen me fight many times before. Uh, uh, um, and we just displayed ourselves again, and we passed the test.
Sebastian, I noticed that your twin sister is also a boxer. Is boxing a family business?
Yes, sir. She's fighting the same day as me. She's fighting the same night. It's gonna be exciting. They're gonna see both Fundoras in action, and I can't wait for it.
Are you guys competitive siblings trying to one up each other, or what's your guys' relationship like?
Definitely competitive, but in a healthy way, of course.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm slacking, she's gonna show up and show that she's better, and then it's up to me to continue to show that I'm the best or whatever. It's stuff like that. It's a good competition. We always hang out with each other, go to a store together, we go to restaurants, all that stuff. It's just family things.
Is it exciting to have to be able to share something like that with your twin?
Definitely. It's great. It's great to have her by my side always. She's always in all my camps. It's about time that she's fighting a card with me. This is the first of many. Hopefully next time she gets the TV. I'm kind of disappointed on that, but next time for sure.
Sebastian, I guess how did you guys become such a boxing family? How did the siblings become boxers and a top boy like you guys are?
A father introduced us to the sport. He was a boxer as well. He showed us at a young age, and we just started boxing from that. Seeing that he loved it, we want to be like our dad, of course, and then we look up to him. So watching him do it made us want to do it as well.
And Sebastian, what can you tell us about your opponent, Carlos Ocampo? You mentioned another guy who's gonna be tough for you, but just studying the guy, what have you seen from him?
A tough fighter. Since his loss to Spence, he's been winning 11 fights in a row. So just like the case for the last guy lost a major fight, and he won 6 fights in a row. This guy has been doing the same thing. These guys are tough fighters. If they take a step back, they take 10 steps forward. This is another elite fighter, another ranked fighter, and we're here to display that we want to fight everybody.
And
Sebastian,
Sebastian, sorry,
go ahead.
Fernando. Sebastian, I know in boxing it's always about looking ahead. What's the future like? Who do you want to fight next? And especially when you're in this stage of your career where you want to chase a belt, and you're like I mentioned, we got it right at junior middleweight. That division's dominated by Jermell Charlo. Is that something you want in the near future? Do you feel like I need a couple more before I get to that kind of point of view, or what are you thinking for that future fight? Is that something you really want to kind of challenge him?
Of course. If we can get him next, I'll definitely take the chance. We are the WBC mandatory. I have the WBC interim. I think I'm ready. That just proves right there that I'm ready for that fight.
Do you think
but first we have Carlos Ocampo, so we need to get this job done, and then we can look forward.
And one more on Charlo, Sebastian. Do you think he's willing to fight? He's a guy who fights anybody, but for sometimes you have to put him on, you have to put yourself on a champion's radar. Like, hey, look at me, come this way. Is he somebody who's been at least entertaining the thought?
I think so. He's a champion. I'm sure he scouts the whole division with Tim Sue and me and all these other fighters that are the mandatories. But we'll see. A fighter's always going to want to fight, but the business is different. So we'll see what happens.
Sebastian, how did training camp go? And do you make a lot of changes from your last fight to this fight in accordance to the opponent, or kind of how do you guys decide what you guys are going to work on during training camp?
Well, camp went well. Camp goes the same. It's always a good camp. We always work hard. We change things for the different fighters we fight, but we're not going to tell you. We're not going to show you until you see the fight itself. So.
No, I know that. I saw on your Instagram that you met Juan Manuel Marquez. When you meet some of those boxers, some of those famous boxers, do you try and pick their brain a little bit? Even though you guys have different styles and everything, do you try and pick their brain a little bit?
No, I don't want to make him feel uncomfortable, because if someone wants to do that to me, especially another fighter, I don't want to put him in an uncomfortable position. I just I get my little picture, and that's about it. That's the only fighter that I wanted to take a picture with was Marquez. Oh, wow. I was sitting next to who was it? Mosley and they talked to me, and they're cool. Like they almost seem like friends. Like I've been knowing them my whole life, but that's I feel like with other fighters, that's how it's always going to be. Like whether you're famous or not, once you know a boxers can relate to boxers, and that's just the relationship,
And then the coolest thing I saw is that you autographed a kid's forehead. How strange was that? How interesting was that to have somebody ask you, "Hey, can you autograph my forehead?"
It was funny. He just came up to me. He's like, "Can you sign my forehead?" And his friends were like almost yelling at me, like, "Do it, you got to do it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, why not? As long as your mom doesn't yell at me."
What did mom say anything?
I didn't see his mom, so hopefully she didn't.
There you go. Well, we're excited to see you go up on October 8th. You're going to be fighting. Your sister's going to be fighting that day too. Sebastian Fundora, yes. Your sister. It's a Fundora. It's a family thing when it comes to your guys' family. So it's exciting to see you guys both on the same card and fighting that night. Congratulations on everything, Sebastian, and good luck on October 8th.
Thank you.